Number 10, Black Plague Fart Water. Imagine waking up on a beautiful Saturday morning only to find out that your entire city has been contaminated by the Black Plague. This was the experience that residents of Car City went through on December 3rd, 1977, when a rogue cop named Jeff smuggled a sample of the Black Plague from overseas and hid it in his backside. After multiple warnings and no one taking him seriously, he gathered the citizens around a gas station and unleashed his deadly gas, infecting the entire city's water supply. Thankfully, a resident who had a PhD in microbiology helped to decontaminate the water supply after a week, saving the lives of many who were on the brink of death. Number 9, the vocal deletion. As a singer, your voice is easily your most valuable asset, so what do you do when it gets deleted? Global rising pop star sensations Monkey Rat were in the studio one day recording their upcoming single when all of a sudden the vocals disappeared. It seems that a mysterious force had somehow managed to delete the vocals, and no matter how hard they tried, the duo could not recover them. And so, unfortunately, the long-awaited single was never released. Number 8, Cake Milk. When this toddler was about to finish the last morsel of his cake, tragedy struck. The cake was suddenly flung in slow motion into a nearby glass of milk, drowning it in a slow, painful death that resulted in cake milk. Number 7, the kidnapping of Greyvan's ugly adopted child. In Car City, after a heart-wrenching betrayal by Greyvan, the chief of police named Brown Cop was absolutely livid, and he made a plan to get the ultimate revenge. Make sure you watch this video until the end to find out what happened beforehand. Brown Cop's plan was to kidnap the child that Greyvan had recently adopted. The child, who had a record-breakingly low IQ, was eager to follow Brown Cop wherever he told him to go. After multiple failed attempts due to being caught by Greyvan's family members, or even Greyvan himself, Brown Cop was eventually successful. The child was so unbothered that he actually enjoyed the experience and acted out in anger when Brown Cop finally relented and returned him back to his home. Because of the nation's extremely corrupted justice system, Brown Cop faced absolutely no repercussions for his actions. But was this felony really as bad as it sounds, or did Brown Cop just want to send a message? Number 6, Flaming Threats. In Car City, becoming a police officer is a dream of many, but when Brodozer was unable to become one, he turned it into a nightmare. After Blue Truck got the job instead of him, Brodozer used his pyrokinesis to set him on fire out of pure hatred and jealousy. He then began to burn the entire city until he finally got his way, and the chief of police was forced to replace Blue Truck with Brodozer. Thankfully, Blue Truck survived the attack and made a full recovery. Number 5, the demolition of the couch. On April 15th, 2024, a small family in Northern America was taken by surprise when they found out that their couch would soon meet its untimely demise. They were forced to watch as the couch was violently attacked by a saw, slowly tearing each thread apart and eventually splitting it entirely in half. Rest in peace, couch. You will be missed. Number 4, the revival of Greenvan. When a local resident of Car City named Greenvan died tragically in a fire, the entire city was devastated. They spent years mourning the loss of a respected police officer and friend of many, but one day he got brought back to life by a special potion that had been worked on in secret for a long time. At first, everything seemed fine, until people started to realize there was something more sinister going on behind the scenes. As it turns out, The doctor who had been credited with the creation of the life potion was a fraud. The true creator was a doctor who was constantly disrespected and ostracized from society after being accused of lying. However, the chief of police knew the truth and worked hard to make things right. The fake doctor, who was actually just a veterinarian, was then arrested for practicing without a real license. His sentence was also extended multiple times for being extremely annoying. But after many years, he has been released. Number 3, Grey Monster Attack. What was supposed to be a peaceful night for this unsuspecting family turned into one of the most terrifying experiences of their lives. They were woken up by a sudden loud noise coming from the roof. It sounded like heavy footsteps. Then, there was a big crash coming from the closet. Terrified, they tried to turn on the lights, but they wouldn't turn on. The power was gone. The father grabbed a flashlight and went to investigate, but before he reached the door, the creature peeked out and stared directly into his eyes before jumping out and attacking him. One by one, each family member was brutally attacked by the gray monster. There were no survivors. Number 2, Grey Van's Betrayal. The sad story of Green Van's death is known by many, but the much darker, twisted reality has been kept quiet. What most people don't know is that this tragic accident was not an accident at all. One day in the early 1930s, Green Van was relaxing outside when suddenly he burst into flames. While it is still unknown what caused the fire, what we do know is that it could have been stopped. However, the closest person at the time was Grey Van, and instead of putting out the fire, multiple eyewitnesses claimed that Grey Van poured gasoline all over Green Van, causing the flames to grow and Green Van to burn to death. Decades later, after Green Van's revival, most of society has forgotten about this fact, but according to residents of Car City, the chief of police, who is best friends with Green Van, still tried to keep Grey Van in prison or even banned from the city itself. Number 1, the disappearance of Han. A highly respected actor named Han went missing in the middle of filming the hit show Lights Out. This was devastating because they couldn't finish filming the last episode of the season. The director and other actors tried to look for him, but were extremely reluctant to actually put in any effort. Because of this, he remained missing for several weeks until he was eventually found, stuck in between a dresser and the wall on set. Immediately after he was found, they resumed filming as if nothing happened because Lights Out was their top priority.